family. So this is Mike from Real Black. I am on the Chicago Lake Tour. It's pretty cool.
Now you know that the water falls out of the lock into the river. So then where does the water go? Well, the fountain up ahead on the right is here to remind us that you can put your boat into the North Atlantic, sail it up through the St. Lawrence Seaway, through 4 of the 5 Great Lakes, through the Chicago Lock, down this branch of the Chicago River, make a left turn, go down the side, go high into the Des Plaines River, which will flow into the Illinois River, which connects to the Mississippi, and you end up in the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe that's an idea for next year's vacation. At any rate, the water we are in today will reach New Orleans in about 3 months. This fountain is so much fun. Take a look up here on your right. I want you to find this pyramid structure along the riverbank in front of the fountain. And as we get closer, you'll see there's a hole in one side of its walls. That's because every hour on the hour they shoot water out of that hole from one side of the river to the other in a huge arch of beautiful white water. This is a water cannon, operates every hour on the hour for 5 minutes each hour, except that 3 hours. If you haven't seen it, I hope you will see it. Beautiful, fun to look at. They were supposed to design the flow of water so that it would be so tight that you could go underneath it and not get wet. It doesn't work. Up ahead, I went to look in between these 2 buildings, find the tall building in the background with the white balconies that curve in and out around the building. This building is called Aqua. It's an 82-story residential tower. It is the tallest residential tower ever designed by a woman-led architectural firm. The name of the architect is Jeannie Gang, who came from Chicago. And Aqua has won an award for the ethical treatment of animals because when the birds fly from downtown Chicago, these curving balconies help the birds not hit the building. Right in front of us is the Trump International Hotel and Tower, Chicago. Lights up to 1,289 feet, 423 meters, 98 stories to the top of that architectural spire. Become the 2nd tallest building in Chicago and the 20th tallest building in the world. By the way, the outdoor dining area of Trump Tower can be found up here on the first terrace is part of their restaurant. To the right of Trump is the wonderful and beautiful Wrigley building built between 1919 and 1924, a wonderful example of the Beaux-Arts architectural style. Covered with 7 different shades of terracotta, going from warm white at the bottom to blue white at the very top, highly eclectic in all the French Renaissance, Spanish Revival, and Chicago school styling that is used to decorate the building. It is white all day long. They bathe it in white light half the night. It is Chicago's white gem and one of the most popular landmark buildings we have in Chicago today. Well, Chicago is that great American city along the lake that has resurrected itself from a devastating fire to become the world-class city that it is today. Its history has been written by leaders of business and industry and even gangsters. Where Michael Jordan played ball, where Oprah has built a media empire, where Richard J. Daley and Richard M. Daley were the mayor's firm for years. Where the first atom was smashed and the first skyscraper was built. Colorado University and miles of shoreline, a beautiful skyline, world-class architecture, as well as the Chicago hot dog and deep dish pizza. Chicago is known as the city that works with an Iowa spirit, and we hope it's been greeting you with the friendliness of Midwestern America. On behalf of the crew of Delilah, we welcome you to our Chicago. Now take a look out here to right and up ahead. As we get to the west end of Trump Tower, coming into view will be a 52-story flat building. This is the American Medical Association Plaza building. It's a very well-designed modern building. It was designed by Mies Wendella, who was the director of the Bauhaus School of Design in Germany, and then recruited to become the director of the Illinois Institute of Technology here in Chicago. And his philosophy of less is more has had a huge impact on the buildings in Chicago and the skylines around the world. He's often referred to as the father of modernism, as well as the second school of Chicago architecture. Right on the twin top towers known as Marina City. And these were designed by Bertrand Goldberg, who was a student of Mies Wendella. Bertrand was very much of a pioneer. This was the first residential tower coming to the Chicago River back in 1964. And because it was the first one, he included all sorts of things in his complex so that you could work in the loop and live in the towers and have all of your needs met. So there was a bowling alley here, a restaurant, a theater, you name it, and you could find it. As we clear the bridge, please look to your right. Let your eyes move up these towers, find the rounded balconies coming off the living areas, and notice that the living areas are pie-shaped. Talk to any of the residents, and they'll tell you how difficult it is to put furniture into a pie-shaped space. But they don't complain because the view is fantastic. Towers have been in several movies, one called The Hunter, where they took the car off of one of these working floors and dropped it right into the Chicago River. As we go up and down the river, we pass underneath these bascule bridges, which are very practical for us. Chicago has 62 drawbridges, 43 of them still opening and closing. Only Amsterdam has more. Chicago has become the world's capital of modern drawbridge design. As we go underneath the next bridge, I'll give you a quick explanation of how they work. You can look to your left or to your right, but what I want you to do is look toward the riverbank underneath the bridge. Inside these banks where you cannot see it, there's a counterweight of 2,000 tons or more. They use a little electric motor to begin to move that counterweight, and then it's very much like the teeter-totter. The counterweight will go down, the bridge will open up, and they can open up these bridges in less than 30 seconds. To your right is the Reed Murdoch Center, built back in 1913, and we want you to notice the clock tower in the center of the building. We have lots of clock towers in downtown Chicago. And this is a flashback to the early days of the city when Chicagoans did not have wristwatches. And they would use these clock towers to keep themselves on time as they came downtown to keep their business appointments, as well as planning out their major shopping, because of course we have no shopping malls back in the old neighborhoods. Quickly look directly up ahead and you'll see a train going over the Wells Street Bridge. This is one of four major trains, double-deck bascule bridges that we will go underneath on our tour today. This one, as you can see, has the Chicago Transit trains running on top of the bridge, cars and foot traffic at the street level. The bridges in Chicago do open up. They tend to open up in the spring and in the fall on Wednesdays and Saturdays, thereby reducing the amount of traffic congestion that is caused when they open up the bridges. The main reason for opening the bridges these days is for the passage of sailboats. There should be a bridge lift tomorrow morning between 9 and 11 o'clock. And now to your right is the Merchandise Mart, built between 1921 and 1931 by Marshall Field and Company. It is a huge Art Deco building that takes up 2 whole city blocks. When it was built, it was the world's largest commercial building. It had some 97 acres of floor room space on the inside, some 8.5 miles of hallways. They built the building for $38 million. The Joseph Kennedy family bought it after World War II for back taxes of $13 million. They sold it in 1995 for over $575 million. Now to your left, as we're through the bridge, we'll be going by 333 West Blackbird and a 36-story curtain wall, all of glass. One of the most popular buildings in Chicago. A lot of international attention back in 1986 when it appeared in the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The office of Matthew Broderick's father's character was in this building. Directly up ahead of us is River Point. This is a brand new $300 million 52-story office building. You see a parabolic curve here at the bottom of the building. All the glass underneath that curve reflects everything that's going on in the river in front of it. So as we go by, look in the lower right-hand corner of this curve, and you will see the reflection of our boat. Keep an eye in the lower right-hand corner of the curve. And there we are. Directly up ahead of us is 150 North Riverside, one of the slenderest buildings in the world. Some people say that the wind's going to come and blow this building over. Well, it's not going to happen because they hung 4 tune dampers from the top of the building filled with 160,000 gallons of water. So when the wind pushes against the building, the dampers push against the wind. More importantly, those dampers take the sway out of the building, so the people working inside the building will not get sick from any kind of motion. As we go by, please realize the building itself only takes up 25% of the site. Now, as soon as we clear this bridge, look straight up and you will see a reflection of this boat on the underside of the building. So get ready to look up. When you get to this side of the bridge, look right up right away, and there we are. Up ahead we have this next tall building with a clock at the top, which is, that clock is 580 feet above the water. It's said to be the tallest double-faced clock in the world, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. And a symbol underneath the clock indicates this building is the international headquarters of the airplane manufacturer Boeing Aviation. This tall building is designed to allow trains to run underneath it. In fact, all of the buildings up ahead on your right will have trains running underneath them. Off to our left, this huge architectural building. It looks like a big chair or throne. This is our Civic Opera House, built back in 1929. The idea was that the offices at the top of the building would offset the expense of the opera company at the bottom of the building. The problem is that they built this building back in 1929, and of course we had the stock market crash back in 1929. So the building on your left became a financial disaster back in the 1930s. Samuel Insull, who's the founder of Commonwealth Edison here in Chicago, and a very wealthy man, he paid for half of the construction of this building, which was $36 million. And consequently, the building took on the nickname of Insull's Throne. Now to your right is 2 North Riverside Plaza, built back in 1925, won many awards for its architectural styling, as well as the first public plaza along the river bank. This was also the home of the Chicago Daily News. Please keep an eye out here to right as we build the next bridge up ahead. I want you to look underneath the big black buildings coming up on our right. So looking to the right underneath these big black buildings, the trains that you see are going into Union Station, which is one of 4 major train stations in downtown Chicago. Union Station provides transportation for over 110,000 daily commuters, as well as 15,000 Amtrak drivers. It has become a hub for Amtrak. It has a huge waiting room on the inside called the Freight Hall, which is one of America's great interior spaces, all done up in the Beaux-Arts style. Okay, get ready. 1, 2, 3. Look to your left and straight up, and you'll get one of your first straight up views of the Sears Tower that is now becoming the Willis Tower. The tower will come and go because the Johnny's going to take a boat to the south of the white building coming up on our left. And then he's going to turn the boat around right in the middle of the river, and you're going to have a straight up view of Sears Tower. So get your attention. Sears Tower is an all-steel building. From the lobby up there are 9 square rectangular boxes. They're all bundled together as they rise up together. 2 of the boxes are 2 belonging all the way up to the roof at the 110th story level. This one's a very sturdy building, and yet it's so flexible up on the roof that the building can sway as much as 18 inches in any direction, protecting the building from wind shear. Observation deck is on the 103rd floor. On some windy days, you can feel the deck sway underneath you. Okay, put your hand in front of any highlights here so you can see what's going on. Here we're doing our quick trip up Sears Tower. We're going up. Can you feel yourself going up? We're about to arrive at we're arriving at the 49th floor, now the 75th floor, going up to the roof at the 110th floor level, all the way to the top of those antennas. Now we want you to know that Spider-Man to do with using suction cups and ropes. We got up to the roof, he was greeted by the Chicago police. Then the police made a discovery, it wasn't Spider-Man after all. He sadly dressed up in a Spider-Man costume. He was arrested before